breaking down your henna designs, making them easy one at a time. It's henna art by Antoinette. Okay, I'm totally digging the theme song thing. That's kind of fun. All right, so I just showed you how to make Paisleys. Now I'm going to show you how to fill Paisleys. So I've made up a few sheets of slightly larger Paisleys than what I was doing before, and then we can also actually use, this is a sheet that I just did in the previous video. I'm going to use one of these sheets with the smaller Paisleys on it to show you what I can do, what I usually do with smaller Paisleys as well. So let's start with the medium-sized ones. Fill is everything that you want it to be, but the recommendation is if you're doing a very large piece, pick 1 or 2, maximum 3 types of fill and stick with them. So I'm going to do 4 different fills here, but you don't want to do 4 different fills if you're doing a great big piece. Okay, so I'm going to start, let's start with this one. This is my favorite fill. It's a swirl and a line, and then humps. Swirl, and I do my swirls in opposite directions. Swirl in a line, and then humps. Swirl, line, humps. Right? I'm starting to get the idea here, right? Bring it a little closer to you. Swirl, line, humps. Right? Okay, and then when we get up here, I start going kind of at an angle so that I can fit in another one over here. And finally the last one. Right, so that's a fill. Another one that I really like to do is the 3-line fill. So you're making 3 lines, and then you come over here and you do 3. The trick with this one is that you don't want to then do another one that makes it look like it's a continuation of the same circle. So I'm going to do one in the center here, but because it arches, it's not part of that first one that I did. Oops. Three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've just come up with a different name for this fill. It's called the waltz fill. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Of course, you can't really dance to that because it's too slow, but that's okay. And there you go. That one is so quick and easy when you're working on a great big piece. To just toss in some of those. You aren't doing a whole bunch of anything, really. This, I do consider these to be good for medium-size Paisleys. Another thing that I sometimes do is I will create a flower and then outline that flower, and I'll show you this on a big one and on a little one too. And then create some kind of a design on the outside. So you end up with fill, but you're not really working with a pattern per se. And Paisleys are great for that because they have such an irregular shape that it's almost like you're looking into a window. And actually I'll show you on the bigger one how that's even more cool. There's something that's even more cool that you do with that. You don't always have to start from the bottom. You can also start from the tip. This actually creates a really cool effect because your fill is obviously moving in a particular direction, and it's opposite to what you would normally think of the Paisleys direction to be, because really when people look at a paisley, it moves in the direction of the point. It is pointing, thus the point. Okay, so that's medium size. I'm rushing, and the reason why I'm rushing is because I've discovered now that my camera will only take 10-minute long videos, which is a pain in the butt. Okay, I'm going to show you something that I think is really super cool. So in this big paisley, I'm going to put a flower, 5-pointed, and another one over here. I think I saw Kim Brennan do this one first. I'm sure it has been done elsewhere, but that was where I first saw it. And then we're going to have a flower peeking off of the side. He wants to join in too. And then maybe one up here. Coming to the party. All right, now fill. Fill in everything that isn't the flowers, and you end up with a negative effect. This one is very striking. It's like, what? Did she plan it that way? That is so awesome. You can do it with a few more flowers in there. Let's see, isn't that cool? All right, I was gonna show you how I do the flower and line fill. So with these, I usually start them down somewhere at the butt and then work my way up to the tip. She said butt. So it's almost like you are working on a mandala, but you don't have to actually worry about it being totally circular. And then just do that. Maybe. So you can actually imagine this going all the way around, right? This. Like so, and then cut it off, give it another line, some humps, and fill this in like that. That works really well on big paisleys. I'll show you really quick a variation of that first fill that I showed you that I really like to do on the smaller ones. You give it thicker line here, give it an additional line here. This just is suddenly filling up so much space, oh my god. And then you give it the humps. Spiral, thicker line, thinner line, humps, spiral, thicker line, thinner line, humps. Thicker line, thinner line, humps. Now if your humps don't go all the way to the edge, you can just kind of pretend like you've got another one in there. So, oh look, there's a spiral in there, there's the thicker line, there's a thinner line, there's a hump. Spiral, thicker line, thinner line, hump. Okay, so that was kind of cool, huh? And 9 minutes, 30 seconds. We're gonna call it good. Oh, you know what? Really quick, little tiny one. Here, flower. Right? Bam, 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 bam. Really quick, huh? All right, so that's some paisley fills for you. Hope you enjoy.